but an ethereal-like version of it. And standing across from you, about 30 feet away, were 8 other figures. There were 2 twins in gleaming armor. There was a tiefling with horns coming up from his head and a cloak. There was a large hobgoblin in thick armor. There was a man standing there shirtless with several astral-like arms protruding from his back. There was a furbolg, also dressed in a cloak but seemed old and wise, a small pure white kobold, and a very large minotaur. I don't think I missed anyone. So, this is what you see in front of you. Behind those figures, you see 3 other much larger figures who almost seem to be fading in and out of existence a little bit, and you don't know what they are right away. We're not using the secret room for this, even though it's one-on-one with characters, so everyone's just going to mute themselves, which is a lovely idea from Rose, while I'm engaging with one character. And it's basically like you are there, you're perceptive, but you almost don't have a bodily form that can move or speak or interact with things.
Has
So with
everyone
that,
sorry.
What's up, Sam?
Oh no, I was just gonna give an example, but I don't think everyone watches the same stuff, so
Fair enough.
Definitely not.
With that, you don't need to mute yourselves yet. You see these figures all standing in front of you. And the first one to step forward is the man who's not wearing a shirt, with these strange astral-like arms coming out of his back. And Cain, this brief moment, you feel yourself almost teleported forward about 20 feet with this figure standing in front of you. And the rest of you are watching while Cain interacts with this man. So you can mute yourselves. Okay, roll to hit.
25.
25?
Yeah.
All right. You punch him and it hits his ab, and you feel him kind of wince a little. And he looks at you and goes, ha, not bad. You got anything else?
What else am I supposed to be doing right now?
You want me to punch you again?
Suddenly, out of the left of your eye, his fist swings forward. And he rolls a 34 to hit. And it catches you just along the bottom of the jaw. Knocks you sideways a little bit. And he goes, what do I look like? Hit me, kid. And from that blow, you feel yourself take... Where's my D10? You feel yourself take 13 force damage.
Okay, he's bleeding quite a nice amount from the mouth now. That's quite a bit of damage. He's gonna do this. He's gonna pull out his quarterstaff and just try and hit him in the bottom of the jaw.
Okay, roll a hit.
25 again.
25 again. Okay. Wow, look at you. As your quarterstaff comes down to hit Torvald, it seems to pass through where he was standing. And suddenly Torvald's standing a little bit to your left, out of the way of your staff as it impacts the ground of this ancestral hall.
Standing to my left now?
Yeah, just a little bit to your left.
Like, I didn't hit him?
Nope.
I look at him.
Come on, kid.
Right.
Weapons are lame. If you're gonna use your fists, use your fists. But if you're gonna use a staff, then why am I bothering?
Okay, I throw the staff down, and I cross the astral floor, and then I'm gonna just come in really quickly and just do a hook to his ribs, and if that hits, 16. Damn.
So as that blow comes, he just slips out of the way and he jabs you in your own abs. And he smashes into you. It hits. And you take 1 bludgeoning damage, or 1 force damage from that blow. And then as he stands back, you see those arms glow, and this mask, this astral mask, covers his face and across his chest. And he looks at you and he says, you see, the way of the monk, it's a precise art, and you have a long way to go in mastering it. And then he flies out another fist and tries to catch you along the other side of your jaw. And with that one, it was a 28 to hit, so that catches you on the other side of the jaw, and as it comes to hit you, it just kind of stops and just taps you, and you take another 1 force damage. And then he looks at you and he says, "Listen, kid, you're supposed to be my champion, so you're gonna need to get a lot better than this. Can you do that for me?"
How did I get the honor of being your champion?
Well, Gleebra killed you. And we need someone to stop him, so we decided that we would give what remained of us to let you return to the material plane. So I need somebody to go enact my will on the material plane because I can't do it anymore. I died 800 years ago and I'm not coming back, so you are going to take my place.
They're flipping out. Look at this.
Mm. Have I shown enough of my strength, or what am I lacking?
Well, you're young, and you lack skills. But luckily all these people really liked me and they started this monastery in my name. It's really kind of cool if I do say so myself. And you're going to learn from them with a little bit of help from me. And then he reaches out and he grabs you. And as he grabs you, you feel this searing pain. He grabs your hand. You feel this searing pain across the top of your hand. And he holds it for a second as it burns. And when he pulls your hand away, his hand away, there's a mark on the top of your hand. And it's a Y with another line coming up the middle and a circle around it. And with that mark kind of literally burnt into the top of your hand, you gain +3 renown points, which you can mark on your thing. And he says, "This is the mark of me. You go to this monastery and you show them this, and they'll know that you met me, or at least, in some sense, I guided your path. Go there, work hard, pass the entry tests, and you have a chance of stopping what's coming."
Thank you, Torvald. Will they know the difference between me making this mark versus you making this mark?
They're perceptive enough and they have their ways.
Mm. Can I try and punch you one more time? I just learned this skill.
Give it your best shot.
I'm gonna feint a jab at his chin, but then at last I can pull back and try and punch him in the throat. Oh,
Jesus. Okay.
oh no! 18.
As you go to punch, it hits his throat, and your own hand comes away sore. As he stands there, just unmoving.
Okay. You're sick. I get it. Is there anything else that I can do for you on the earthly plane, Torvald?
I've made my peace with my passing, but I died. I gave my life to protect Vydia. I don't expect you to do the same, but I expect you to at least try. I don't have a lot of time, kid, but you'll see me again. Just do your best. And then you're back 20 feet with the rest of the party, and Torvald's back in line with the rest of the first protectors. As soon as Cain goes back, Vine, you find yourself move forward 20 feet, and standing in front of you is this massive minotaur. And you notice something. You notice that you can speak, and in your human form, you can speak deep speech, but it comes across as common in this plane of existence you're on. So you have your language, and you can speak the way you would if you understood how to speak common, basically.
Cool.
Zamkar is standing there with his arms crossed, and he's looking down on you since you're quite a bit shorter than him. And with those massive horns, he looks at you and says, "You have a lot of courage, but you have to learn when to use it and when to be cautious." By the way, guys, I am taking some liberty with the voices just because it's hard to do 7 of them, so excuse me.
So Vine is he's shocked that he's become this aware of everything, and he asked a question. He's like, "Do you know what I am?"
I don't know what you are, but I too was a beast from the wildlands. And while I didn't gain awareness the way you did, I know what it's like to feel out of place.
When I leave here, will I be able to speak again?
No. The gods are here, and they've taken some liberties with the rules of nature so that we could communicate, because there's important things you need to know.
What can I do to become stronger?
First, do you know who I am?
No, I don't know who I am. Or what I am. I just remember a name. Vine.
My name is Zamkar Greathoof. I was one of the first protectors of Radiant Starlight, and I gave my life to protect Vydia. I don't know what you are, and I don't know where you came from. But there's people here, and they'll stand by your side while you learn about the world and learn of your origins. You just have to trust them.
Trust him. Okay. Will I find out who I am?
Anyone who seeks long enough will eventually learn something.
Alright. I'll stay with my friends so I can learn who I am.
Fine. I've chosen you as my champion out of these 7, because I know what it's like to not be from Vydia, but to protect it and know what it's worth. You've a lot to learn and a long way to grow, but given time, I think you'll do what must be done.
Right.
Now, Vine, you must make a choice. Will you strive to become more human? Or are you going to strive to return to your natural form?
Natural form? Is that the spider that everyone says? Everyone calls me a spider. What does that mean?
To them, you resemble a creature like a spider, even though I'm sure that's not exactly what you are, but it was what you were before you became in limbo.
Hmm. Will I be able to stay with my friends if I go back to being a spider?
You'll still be able to resemble a human, but your abilities, the direction they grow, will be determined by you.
I think then all I can do is continue on the path I'm on. Until I discover who I am.
You don't have to make the choice now, but next time we speak, you'll need to have an answer.
Okay. Thank you, Zamkar?
You got it right, kid. Listen, I have to go, but you'll see me again. Do the best you can, and don't do anything too awful.
Wait. I have one thing to ask. Before, I think I died. I'm afraid of dying again. Will it hurt if I die?
Dying is like the wind. It comes and then it's gone. In a split second you'll feel it and the next you won't. So, should that time come, embrace it, because it's meant to be. We saved you once, but we won't be able to save you again.
I think if it's for my friends, I'm okay with dying. Thank you, Zamkar.
You're welcome. Now take care. Remember, Vine, I chose you. Don't let me down. And then you two are knocked back with the rest of the party. Zamkar's back on the other side. And as that happens, Uaighe moves forward about 20 feet. And the
Oh
two
my
figures who are twinned, wearing the same armor, also came forward. So you're standing in the middle of this room. away from the rest of the party. And they both are standing there and they look at you. And they don't say anything. They're just staring at you.
Good afternoon. Hi. Why aren't you saying anything? Everyone else had things said to them. Why aren't you saying anything?
The one figure kind of tilts her head and looks at you. They still don't say anything.
Right. Well, why don't I just tell you a little bit about myself then? My name is Uaighe Coimeadai. I am a traveling mortician. I suppose I'm also an adventurer. You could say
Wait.
I'm also an adventurer. Right.
We know who you are.
Oh, right.
The two of us share a very special bond. We can speak in each other's minds.
Oh, that's handy.
And we have not decided what we think of you.
Well, all right. Are you supposed to figure out what you think of me?
You see, we serve Eula, both
Ew.
in life and in death, but you serve a different god.
That is true. I do. I do serve someone completely and entirely different.
Do you know who we are?
I don't. I don't know who you are.
I am Mink, and this is Blink.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
We were two of the first protectors of Radiant Starlight, and we gave our lives to protect Vydia.
Right. That's fantastic for you.
Would you do the same?
Well, you know, are you asking me if I'll protect Vydia, or are you asking me if I'll die for it?
We're asking you if you die for it.
Well, I would. I think that death is meant to come when death is meant to come, and I'll just go about living my life, and if I die, then I die. That's just the way it works, isn't it? Nothing to be afraid of.
Spoken like a true servant of Audia.
Oh, thank you.
He is the one who watches, the shadow that falls over the living, who balances when one passes through the veil. While we maintain life, you preserve the balance. And that balance has now been shattered by Gleebra. You are Audia's champion, but you are also ours. You need to restore that balance and stop Gleebra, or all life shall be extinguished.
Right. But am I able to actually be the champion of two different people? Or three different people? Is it two or is it three? I don't
It's
know.
two, technically.
Right. But are you two? Or are you plus Audia two? Or three?
We are one.
Right.
We are the Devati.
So two.
Two.
So to answer my question, right, can I be the champion of two different people?
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you for clarifying that for me. It was a little bit confusing.
You are the strangest Aasimar we've ever seen. Do you not know your calling?
What do you mean by my calling? If you mean a mortician, I'm well aware of what that is.
No,
And I do
that
it very
is
well.
a menial person's labor.
Menial? It is not menial, sir. Ma'am. Humans. Beings.
Devati.
Devati, it is not menial. I am very proud of my work, and if I didn't do it, then who would?
Well, Uaighe. There's other work that needs to be done. Be a mortician. Preserve death. But your main goal is to preserve life. For if you do not, there will be no bodies for you to bury.
Oh, well, that's a very good point. I hadn't really thought of that.
Now, we have selected you. We're putting our faith in you because we cannot anymore. But there is one other who wishes to see you.
All right. Is it one or is it two?
Just one.
Right.
And with that, the two body blink back, and you're standing there in emptiness for a second
Hmm.
before these shadow-like tendrils start to kind of fill the void in front of you, and then they shape into the figure of a very, very tall man. And by tall, I mean like 12 feet tall.
Woo!
The form is humanoid, but it's shadows kind of drifting off and then merging back in, and it's not completely material. It's very incorporeal in form. And it looks down at you, but you don't hear a voice. There's no speaking. You just hear in your head.
Ooh.
Not words, but ideas. And what it comes across as saying, through images, through pictures, images and pictures are the same thing, but through images, through flashes of memories, you get this idea that, well, you are a mortician, you must now go on to do something more.
Images and pictures are not the same thing.
Okay.
I want to clarify that.
And then Adia speaks to you, and he says, "You've done well, Uaighe, and your strength will only grow. Mine fades day by day by day. Will you enact my will? Your mortician's journey has been great. It has brought you where you were needed. Continue on that path. Make the passing of those peaceful, but please, you must restore the balance. Through you and those by your side, Vydia can be saved. Embrace the nature of being an Aasimar. Do what you must. Bring the shadows back to the material plane, because soon only darkness shall reign. Do you understand?"
Oh my god, it's such an honor to meet you. Oh my god. Oh my lord. And she kind of like, I don't know, starts doing some like weird like bowing and like clutching her heart and like just being very flustered and not really knowing what to do.
The shadow kneels down, and as it kneels, it shrinks until it's about the same height as you. And it just looks you in the eyes, and it says, "You do not have to bow before me. I am not that type of god, for all living creatures eventually meet the same fate. Just make sure that passage is when it is supposed to be, and not preemptively like Gleebra wishes."
Right. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I will make that happen to the best of my ability. But I do have a question for you, and it's very important.
Yes.
Right. If you want to keep the balance, then isn't bringing me back not keeping the balance?
You never truly died.
Right.
Just before your moments of death, Eula, Sinar, and I spared you.
Right. So
Because
then we're not really breaking the rules.
you are all too important to let die, and once you're gone, we can't do anything to bring you back, so we decided to never let you leave.
Right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Rest in peace, you are not undead. You are just slightly past the land of the living.
All right. Right. Well, it's been an honor to meet you, sir. Feel free to come down and chat anytime.
I don't chat, but
Right.
I'll be there when you need me, and so will those two. And then shadows just dissipate, and you find
Alright.
yourself back with the party.
Okay.
The next one to be jolted forward is Thwish. And in front of you is standing the Furbolg in a cloak who looks very old and wise. Hezreel, I'm not doing your accent. I'm sorry, because I couldn't get it. And it would have just been painful for everyone to listen to.
I feel like I need to interject here and unmute myself because he was trying and like he practiced like 5 different times in the kitchen to me and I kind of vetoed it and said like no, I think it's better if you don't.
Yeah. So, sorry, man, but anyways,
Oh, that's
Thwish, you
hilarious.
find yourself standing in front of this furbolg. And the furbolg standing there, he looks at you and he says, "Quite perceptive, aren't you?
I am. Thank you for noticing.
Reminds me a little bit of me. I used to see the future, you know. The one thing I didn't see coming was, well, the most important thing, the death of my friends and myself. But it seems like you didn't either."
No, I didn't. And I feel very guilty.
Don't feel guilty. Someone that strong, there's not much you could have done anyway.
I guess you're right. Still,
I would have said something
I
like
still feel
that.
terrible about
That's
it.
funny.
Do you know who I am, Thwish?
No, not really. Care to enlighten me?
Well, my name is Trizri, and I was an oracle. And one of the first protectors of Radiant Starlight, but the oracle bit was a little bit more important.
Wow. That's incredible. I never met an oracle before.
Yeah, well, once in a while I got these visions, and they would tell me what was going to happen, you know, minutes or hours ahead. But sometimes they let you down.
Most of the time. Most of the time they
I
let you
see.
down.
Now, you've got a second chance. And you fight smart and you notice things that other people don't, but that's only going to get you so far. You need to know to run away when you need to and stay when it matters.
How do you suggest I know this? It's quite hard to make everyone else believe something that I believe in the moment.
Well, you see, the thing is, when there's a massive, powerful sorcerer doing a ritual in an ancient temple, it's probably a good time to run away.
I suppose you're right, hence my guilt. Thank you for telling me that.
That's totally something I would
welcome.
have said.
But like I said, don't feel guilty, because I didn't see my death either, and now look at me. I'm standing here in some weird hall. It's all ethereal and frosty. We all make mistakes. You just need to grow from them.
Agreed.
That's great. This is great.
Now, I've chosen you because I think you can make a difference. Your friends are great, but they didn't fit what I was looking for. I'm looking for someone who can see the details.
That I can. I'm very good at seeing details, for sure.
Interesting. I might have been able to be
You're
myself
taking this
again.
pretty well considering you're dead. Do you have any questions for me?
I mean, I kind of accepted our fate when I saw Gleebra there in the temple. I thought something was going to happen, and it did. Of course, like you mentioned, I was a little bit too late in noticing things.
I know,
Do you
right?
have
This
any
is
advice
so
for me
good. It's so good.
besides noticing things and knowing when to run away and when to stay? How do I tell the rest of my party this when they don't believe me? What if I
Well,
want to run away and they don't?
never leave them behind. If you're gonna
Alright.
die, you stand a better chance doing it together. But try not to die, because I can only talk to you like this once.
Alright, I'll try my best. I do have a question though. Since you can see the future, have you seen mine or anyone else in my parties?
That's a good question, but if I told you, it would kind of ruin the surprise, wouldn't it?
So I presume it's a good fate and not a bad one?
The thing with futures, Thwish, is the further away they get, the more they can change.
I see.
So do your
Alright.
best, be true to yourself, and good things will probably come.
Okay. With that being said, I'll take your advice to heart and I will look for details and follow your advice.
Good. Now I gotta go, so I'll be seeing you around.
Alright,
And
thank you for
he
choosing.
disappears as mid-sentence he's gone. And what replaces him is an extremely tall woman. Same thing, about 12 feet tall. She looks down on you and she says, "You've done well, Thwish."
Have I, though? I don't think
It
so.
is Samus. It's
Well, you
definitely
kept
Samus.
your promise to me.
I tried my hardest, but I didn't. I feel like I helped the darkness start instead of stopping it.
Yes, but you can't challenge things you don't know. And you see, you remained true to your morals, and so your voice, it shall flourish even after this time. Continue to be true and kind to your promise, and you'll grow.
Okay. What if I'm put in a situation where my morals are in question? But maybe I need to do something that I wouldn't want to do, but it benefits the party in some way.
Do what you think is best. The good of the most outweighs the good of the few.
Good of the
All
most,
right.
huh?
I shall do that.
Now, together you're strong. Stay with your party, protect them, watch their back, because alone you will crumble, just as Liam did. You must stand together
Kind of sucks.
and
to
be
leave
the
the
moral
community.
compass for those around you to restore the balance that has been lost.
I will do that for you. I promise.
Good. I'll be seeing you, hopefully not soon. And then you also find yourself back with the party. And we're going to do this 3 more times. All right. Next up, Nova. Get
Nova.
brought forward. Standing in
Nova
front of
Qree.
you is this tiefling
Oh.
with 2 small horns, a hood pulled over his face. And
Crikey. Crikey, where am I? Oh. Orion? Orion, is that you? Do you just look really different right
Nova, we see the conflict in you.
now?
I am not Orion. I am not anything. We were lost,
Mm.
and we were one day found.
Oh, snap.
My name is Nowhere.
Mhm.
I was one of the first protectors of Radiant Starlight, and now you too seem to have perished.
It seems I have. I mean, Gleebra, I thought he was good, and I thought he was kind, but apparently not. But he's so
Gleebra
handsome.
deceived
What?
many, and you seem to have a bit of a weakness for handsomeness.
Oh, I do indeed. You see, it's not really just the handsomeness that attracts me, it's the power. I could sense his magic. And I wanted to be part of that,
Nova,
you know?
we see that you too have powerful magic. You do not need to seek it out in others.
Hmm.
Don't let Orion guide you to darkness, for all that awaits there is pain.
Mhm.
You're strong, but if you let him feed off of that strength, you won't last long.
Well, Nowhere, I have to confess, the only thing that really guides me and the only thing that I really want to do is protect the ones that I love. But to protect the ones that I love, I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place. I have to follow Orion because he's the one that gives me power. He's the one that, gives me magic so I can be a protector. And without him, I am just a runt of my litter.
Bars.
Nowhere, getting confused, having to play 7 different characters. Nowhere reaches out and he touches your shoulder and he says, Orion cannot hear you here. This one has a feeling he will soon ask you to place your own morals aside. But whatever happens, you can defy him. This one knows you have the strength to be my champion. And should you make that choice and break your bond, you will find new power flourish where old one wanes.
Wow, your hands are warm on my shoulder. Oh, well, thank you, Nowhere, for maybe I do have a power within me. You instill a bit of self-confidence in there. Maybe it's there. How do I find this power? How do I find this power within myself?
Well, it's a long journey, but I imagine dying is probably a good first start.
Oh, good lord. Well, we're here now. I guess I can only go up from here. Right, mate?
Pretty much. This is about as low as you can get.
Well, thanks for being here for me.
You're welcome. Now, I can only save you this one time.
Hmm.
So, don't let me down.
Okay. I'll do my best.
If you need me, when Orion calls, look inside yourself, and this one will always be there.
Thank you, Nowhere. I really appreciate it, mate. And, yeah, thanks for saving my life.
Don't thank me. Just restore the balance and stop Gleebra because your man crush can't go on that much longer.
Stop Gleebra. Yes, indeed. I need to stop him.
Yeah.
Should
All
I
right.
not take him out on a date first? Just one
No.
still?
No. Please no.
Okay. I
To
will
put it in
stop.
perspective,
Mhm.
that power you are so attracted to is about to slaughter billions of people.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh no. That's not a good thing.
No,
No.
not a good.
Terrible.
No,
Terrible.
awful.
All right. I'll set my sights somewhere else. For now.
That's good. Okay. Anyways, my time is up.
Okay.
Good luck.
Take care, Nowhere.
You know the drill. You find yourself back with the party. Nowhere's back with his,
There you
and the
go.
next one to get pulled forward is Aaron. Aaron, it's what you find in front of you is a large hobgoblin in pretty heavy armor.
Hello, my name's Aaron Vanberry.
He shakes your hand and he goes, Aaron, we're a lot alike, you know.
Could you elaborate, please?
Well, you know, I cared about my party a lot, more than they knew, but I couldn't save them when push came to shove.
Yes. Sorry, I'm still not used to this. As Aaron is looking around the entire, are we dead?
He pulls out a flask from his side and uncorks it and hands it across from you, and he says, yeah, it's tough to get used to, but take a swig of that and it might help.
I don't normally drink, but I feel
Aaron, you're dead. It's not really alcohol.
Okay, Aaron, take a swig of this thing. Wait, if I'm not dead, how is this gonna help?
I was just hoping it would maybe calm you down, but that's about all I got. And then he takes the
little
flask
bit
back
more
from you and corks
yeah.
it.
Anyway, yes,
Aaron, do you know who I am?
Does Aaron notice his sword?
He doesn't have a sword on him right now.
Right. The only hobgoblin I know from tales and folklore is Ondril.
He claps you on the back and says, you got it, kid.
Wait. You're Ondril, one of the defenders of Radiant Starlight. Hold on.
The first defender. Well, one of them.
Okay. In that case, it's an honor to meet you. Wait a minute. So, I mean, you look great for over 800 years old. I mean, we're all dead. I'm sorry. Why are we here? Why?
Well, you see, when I died, and all my friends died, our spirits were trapped here in this strange limbo, in this magic tree, along with that lich we defeated a long, long time ago. And we've been lingering, looking for a way to move on, but it's never come. And then this sorcerer guy shows up, and he frees that lich. And you see that's a problem, right? Because I'm not there anymore, and I can't protect the people. Which means you're gonna have to.
I think I understand completely. We need to find Gleebra, take him down. We need to
Just-
end that sorcerer.
There's one thing you're gonna have to come to terms with. You can't save everyone, not every time. But you can try. Yeah, you see, you said it for me. Aaron, you need to not grieve too long over Liam. Because a lot
said I
more
was-
people are gonna die if you do.
Is that obvious?
It's pretty obvious, but I'm kinda in your head in all fairness.
You're in. Can we wait? I thought we were talking out loud. I'm sorry. This is all messing with my head. I'm not used to. I don't like people speaking directly to my mind.
No, I'm talking to you. It's just
Okay.
I can see inside of you. It has nothing to do with the wine, I promise.
Okay, that's good to know. I have one question for you. Maybe two, depending on your first answer.
Go ahead.
He's taking a long pause because he has multiple questions in his head and he's bluffing, saying he only wants to ask one.
When how did you protect as many people as you did? What drove you? What driving force do you have underneath that?
Well, I lost a lot of people. I think it's as simple as that.
Ooh, I see.
And if you don't take that as drive, you'll lose a lot more.
The only people I've lost in my life don't really tend to get along with other people that well, though, and I don't mind that.
Speaking
However,
of people you've lost, you gotta try not to let your father get to you.
can't get to me. I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah,
Up
but
and down.
Aaron.
Yeah?
Deep down inside, you worry that you're gonna become him.
It's kind of hard when you have that blood in you. You know, do you understand that?
Aaron, you were born with magic. Your tools, they're just a crutch. You see, they're easier, but eventually, you're gonna come to terms with what you can do. You're stronger than you know. And you'll find that out soon enough.
Oh snap!
But I don't mean physically. You're not stronger physically like me. You're just stronger spiritually in that sense. Emotionally, perhaps. Mentally, but not physically. Just stay in the back and throw your spear, but don't, stabbing isn't your forte.
I'm not going to use magic the way that other spellcasters do. I can't. You know the mental strain. You're in my head right now. You know that with the fears that come with that.
Aaron?
How did you deal with that? How did you deal with your fears?
I
If you had
didn't
any?
use magic, but I
know.
knew a lot of people who did, and the first step is accepting that sometimes you just have to let go. Listen, kid, I'm running out of time here.
I know. I have one more question though before you go. That sword you used to wield in the past, did you know how it worked?
I don't really know how many things work, but what specifically are you confused about?
Well, I mean, multiple people have tried to recreate that blade, and none have really succeeded the way that it was originally forged. I was hoping maybe you could give me a small tidbit.
Yeah, I didn't really make it though. I just kind of swung it, so I mean, you're on your own in that sense.
Okay. Right. Okay.
It's hilarious.
Listen, kid, you're my champion. Keep that in there. You'll be all right. And also, if you happen to find my wineskin, it'd make me really happy that someone else gets a use out of it.
I don't normally drink, but I'm sure it'll do well for the party. I mean, boost charisma here and there, but I'll try and find it and pass it on if I do find it.
Will
Maybe my
do.
mentor would like to take it.
All right, kid. Good luck.
Honor to meet you, Andril.
And then you both go back. And at the same time, you guys all see a new figure brought forward. Someone you haven't seen in the past. You can't really make out what he looks like right now. But Tenebris, you're brought forward, not from with the party, but from somewhere else. And standing in front of you is a small white kobold.
I feel sick. Oh. What happened?
Morganna, excuse my voting because I'm not completely sure what voice was used, so I'm gonna take some artistic license, but listen here, kid. You died.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, well, Gleebra got the best of a lot of people, not just you.
Yeah, kinda figured.
You seem kind of down. Are you okay?
Nah.
You all right? Is everything okay? What's going on?
Kind of always been like this. No. Squirrels call me Tenebris. My name is Leaf. I guess because I dress in all black all the time and kind of don't see much meaning to life. You know, don't really have
Well,
a family.
Tenebris, you see, I too was a bit of a child of the forest. I lost my parents, just like you did, and I learned from the wilds and the beasts. I even had a lion that was actually a dragon, but was a lion, so, I mean, maybe don't compare yourself to that, but I know animals can be annoying sometimes. But they
Very.
have a lot to offer through their partnership.
Not just shapes to turn into.
A little bit more than shapes, but sometimes you just gotta reach past the surface and make that bond.
Just like the trees. You sound just like the trees.
Well, in a way, I'm kind of like the trees of Vydia because I'm dead and they're not really people, so we have that in common.
Touche.
Listen, I'm picking you out of all those people who died to be my champion. But be careful because while you're fierce, you might still fall. Now, Gleebra has ruined the balance of this world, and it must be restored, because without that, those forests that you grew to love, despite how annoying they are all going to die. They're all going to be consumed by an abyss that never stops consuming. So, you need to step up.
So you want me who's died to stop death from coming back from killing everything?
Basically, but the nice thing is, you're gonna come back to life.
Wonderful. Anything
I
else you
know.
want to brighten my mood with?
Life seems... but it's not. The first protectors are always going to be with you. My name is Vodi Mern, and I died fighting for Vydia a long time ago, and you don't have to die again. But there's others like you, who Gleebra killed, who are going to share the same resentment that you have. Join them. You're stronger together. And before long, you might find that they're the family that you've been missing.
Hopefully this time they won't get eaten.
Well, maybe this time you're strong enough to stop it from happening.
Just send me back. This is gonna be a long journey.
You're right. It is. You best get on your way.
I do
So I'm
have
gonna
one question.
What is it?
You rode on a dragon. What did it feel like?
To ride on a dragon? Well, it felt like being high and like your spirit was just floating in the clouds and the air is just wafting underneath you, and it felt like nothing could stop you until something eventually does. But take it and live in the moment. Stop worrying about what might happen, because that's only going to bog you down.
You know, you really had me on that pep talk till you said you no longer get to keep that feeling.
Well, life's
Really
full of
had me.
ups and downs, and sometimes you just gotta go with the flow.
That's full of upside downs,
All right.
everybody.
Now, the last thing I'm gonna say is, if you happen to see a pure white dire lion running through the forest, let him find his way to you, because then I'll be there.
Sweet. I guess.
Anyways, my time's up. Remember, find those people. And
I'll
with that,
try.
you both you this time get Dara back to the party, but you can't speak to them. You all still can't speak. You can unmute yourselves if you want, but you still can't talk. So it's up to you. You all find yourself, including Tenebris, standing in this hall, and now in front of you are the protectors and these three massive gods behind them. This one god, who you haven't seen speak before, steps forward, and he lets out in a booming voice, "I am Eula, god and protector of life.
Hmm.
Audia and Sinar have joined with me to restore you. Don't let this be a mistake. Gleebra and his cult threaten the balance of this world. They have spread throughout Vydia like a disease, and you must be the cure to that disease. The balance of the material plane hangs at the precipice of disaster, and all life may soon be lost. Build your strength. Crush this cult where you can, and eventually get your revenge on Gleebra. His people are in every system, every city, every forest, and you will need help to find their secrets. I pray you find it soon enough. We can no longer help Vydia. The first protectors are giving the remainder of their strength to restore you to the material plane. Vydia is now in your hands, so do as you please, but remember what hangs in the balance. Take some time. Recover. Gleebra will lay low. But eventually, you must step up. Never forget what you saw here, and never forget what we're asking you to do. Because if you fail, even the gods may find themselves extinguished. I recommend you start in the city of Crimsonwall. You may find powerful allies and rumors to guide your path. Now, you've received the aid of the gods once. We will not be able to spare you again should you fall. You have one life. Do not waste it, champions. And as he finishes speaking, that ancient tree is in the background, and this blue wave pulses out, and it starts to envelop the party. At the same time, you see the first protectors each start to brighten, and they're standing across from each of you who they spoke to. And their forearm starts to brighten, gets lighter and lighter and lighter until it seems almost like sunlight blazing forward, and this beam lances forth from them and connects with what remains of your spirit. You feel yourself start to strengthen, and as that strength flows back into you, you start to leave that hall. And the further away you get, the more you see the first protectors fading, as if they're fueling that beam that's connecting you. And their spirits start to fade and transfer over to you. restoring you that strength. Suddenly, you're gone from that place, and you're back in your body. It feels like this intense flame covering your skin, this burning sensation, and then suddenly your consciousness starts to regain. And as your eyes slowly start to open, you see the sun coming through a canopy of trees as you lay there on the grass. And the first scent that hits your nose is a smell of rot and decay as you all start to regain consciousness at Spirit's Embrace.